One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Baton and my pronouns are she, they.
And I'm Kelsey Wren and my pronouns are she, her.
Happy birthday!
Thanks.
It's December 22nd when we're recording this, and it's Kelsey's birthday.
Me.
So, happy birthday!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't look at you because you already made me cry today.
That was my goal. I made this, I don't know if y'all saw it, but I made this little compilation of all our TikToks and our lives.
That was very
for your
sweet.
birthday. Yeah, I was tearing up when I was making it, and I was watching it again this morning, and I was like, oh my god. I'm like, I wanted to post it so bad, but I'm like, no, I want to be there because I knew you were gonna cry.
And then you recorded me crying.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. I'm okay with emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's your birthday been so far?
It's been good. I got to, I don't know, wake up and chill, and I don't know, waking up was great.
Yeah.
Bernie got me breakfast in bed, so that was pretty cool.
That's so cute.
I know. I kind of already told you, but I woke up and I kind of felt around for him, where are you? I knew he had to work, but it felt earlier than usual. And then I looked at my phone and he was like, "When to get you breakfast, be right back." Me, okay.
That's
and then
awesome.
came and rushed and brought it back. I was like, and he was like, "I gotta go to work. I'll see you later." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Aw,
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
that's awesome.
It was cool. And then we're gonna go to dinner later.
Nice.
So,
Where are you guys gonna go?
we're gonna try this place. I don't know if anybody's ever. It looks. I will say it looks scary from the outside. It looks like a terrible buffet. When he mentioned it, I was because I always go to Red Lobster because I like seafood a lot,
Yeah.
and that's what you can get around here. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. But this year I was like, I don't really want to do that because I would like something better, I guess.
Yeah, or
So-
different.
Yeah, so he did some searching and he found this place. It's called the Big Catch. It's if you're in the SoCal area, it's by the Ontario Mills. And but from the outside, I'm like, that place, it looks terrible. He's like, the reviews are great.
Yeah.
Look at the reviews, look at the photos of the inside.
Yeah.
And it looks like a bougie brewery. On the
Yeah, I've
inside.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've never been, but
So I was like, okay, I'm down. Well, I mean, we'll get into this later, but
Yeah.
a goal is I'm gonna start saying yes more.
yeah.
So
Have you seen Yes Man?
no, it sounds terrifying.
You need to watch it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say yes with reason. I'm not just gonna be like, you want to go jump out of a plane? Yes. No, I don't.
It's still very inspiring.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Is it where they have the Cajun shrimp and
Yeah. I'm like, I know, right?
that sounds so good.
I'm like, that sounds amazing, and I just, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yee.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We're caffeinated
Yeah.
and
I'm sitting here with the Trenta.
Trenta. Yeah, Val offered to go get us coffee, and I had told you yesterday. I'm like, what do you want? And then you were like, this and this, and then you told me to surprise you. So I said, okay.
Which is not something I say. If you know me, I don't say surprise me.
That's not very common for a Capricorn to be like, surprise me.
But I was like, I'm feeling it. Let's do it. Surprise me.
So I surprised her.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's a Trente vanilla cream cold brew. If you're
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah. So by the end of this podcast, you're gonna be like, wired.
I know. I'm like feel the jolts of sugar going through.
You're gonna be really, 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 really wired. Sorry, that took me a minute.
Yeah, I like that you pulled up the phone. That's great. I don't
Okay.
know. So we can shoot the shit if you want.
Yeah, I think we pre-shot the shit.
The pre-shitting of the shoot the shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did everybody like the episode last week?
Yeah, how was the episode last week? I had so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
He's the coolest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't say nice things when he was here because I'm like, I'm just going to end up crying. But he's really the freaking coolest. And he listened to it a bunch of times because he wanted to see, like, he just, like, he likes himself also.
Yeah,
So
that's a fire sign trait.
It's a fire sign.
I understand.
So he wanted to hear it, and he's like laughing. I'm listening to it upstairs laughing, and
It's
we're both
hilarious.
laughing.
I will say, I feel like it's the funniest episode we've ever had.
And like, it's like, that's what it's like most days. Like, he just makes me laugh all the time. And like full on gut laugh all the time. Like, I just find him like, he's like the funniest person to me. So it was really cool to have him on. And I couldn't be mushy then, but I'll be mushy right now. Cause like, I think it's the collective energy. We talked about this is like we were
Venus
watching
retrograde.
we were watching some videos last night, like Scorpio moon videos. And like, I was like crying because of like, it just to see him like realize stuff about himself that like he has struggled with. Like, cause like I've known him pretty much my whole life at this point. So to see him like get that clarity is like, me, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
Like, I'm proud of
happy.
you, and like, you're my hero. And like, not my hero because I need to be saved, but like my hero because I think like you're what embodies an actual hero. Like, I know when I say that, he's like, that's a lot of pressure. And I don't mean it pressure, but like he is like, I'm like, there's a lot of things people could learn from watching the way you work sometimes. So I don't know, just I'm so proud of him.
You guys definitely inspire each other. I can tell.
Yeah.
It's like a very mutual thing of inspiration. And I think maybe from an outsider's perspective, I feel like you have kind of like challenged each other and encouraged each other in like the journeys you're in, and it's really cool to see. Yeah,
it's like he's really is like my number one cheerleader, and it's really like whatever you want to do, whatever we I don't know if maybe we'll have to cut this out. I'll ask you, but we had a conversation about birth control yesterday because I've been on it like for forever. And I kind of saw it yesterday, and like it's just a testament to like how much, and I feel silly sometimes praising him from stuff like this because it should be second nature for most men, but like it's also not. So it should be looked at as something good. So I was talking to him about getting off of it because like, I mean, but also we don't want children. Like, so there's a conundrum in there. But I was also telling him that like I've never experienced my adult body not being on birth control, and I don't want to experience that once I'm in menopause and don't need it anymore. Like I would like to just see what my body, my emotions, my hormones are without that. And he was like, oh my God, like we'll figure out a way then. Like basically, which is a lot of detail, but like I was a little bit afraid because I was like, oh, like, you know, that's a scary subject. And I don't know, I kind of was just like, well, let's just see where the universe takes us because we don't want kids, I don't think. But also, I don't think we would be upset if one came along. And I don't know. There's options out there that we would also explore. This is a far left field. But it's real. It's a testament to like, it was what like our breakfast conversation yesterday. And he was like, okay, like, you know, if that's what you want to do, cool. Like, you know, I
love that.
Yeah. And he's like, let's do some research and figure it out. I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
that's amazing.
I couldn't ask for a better partner in those types of things because I do have a lot of feelings like that not a lot of people could probably handle. And I do go back and forth a lot with how I think about things. So I don't know. You're the coolest out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we know his name now.
Oh yeah, you can know. Yeah, I will probably still say partner. I'll probably toggle between. So
yeah, just in case like someone missed the episode. Yeah, y'all are gonna have to listen to it if you wanna. Yeah,
definitely.
So we'll go back to partner.
Yeah, either one. I'll figure out. It won't be so. I don't know. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah. How was your week?
It's been good.
What'd you do over the weekend?
Oh, I raged. I raged. No, I'm just kidding. So
did you go to any parties?
Yeah, I actually did, and it was here.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
It was.
You
had
a little joint birthday party.
We'll get together
for you and your partner, and it was so much fun. Got to meet your friends.
I know,
and it was so much fun. Candace was here.
I know.
Shout out to Candace.
Shout out to Candace.
Oh my God, me and I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about this.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Were you there?
I could just hear snippets of it. So go for it.
Okay, so me and Candace were just like chatting up a storm.
Yeah.
And
I think Val was talking to Bernie a lot, so that's why you and Candace were chatting a lot.
Yeah. Val was talking to Bernie because he wanted to get to know Val more, and Val was like yes, all for it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk witchy talk because you were trying to host like everybody. You were like roaming around everywhere. But so yeah, I was like bombarding Candace, and there was a point where I don't know why, I don't remember why we were talking about like. Oh, it was an alcohol. Your partner had shown, like, we were smelling one of the alcohols, and one of them reminded me of.
It's the
pussy juice. Sorry, Kelsey's mom, if you're out there. But it reminded me of pussy juice. So I was like, oh, I like the smell of this one. And I'm like, it reminds me of that. And Candace was like, well, I guess I wouldn't know. I'm like, you've never just like, and then I put my head near my crotch. You've never like taken a sniff. I've never seen Candace crack up so much.
Oh my god. Poor Candace also. My partner was testing out the chairs and he was talking about one of them was like sliding down. So he was like, is it just me? Am I just a big person? And that's why it's like falling. So he made her sit on it. And she's like wiggling to see if it slides down. And she's like, she just got there. She's 2 minutes into being in my house. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Candace. And then he was joking around. He's like, do you want a drink? Do you want some of this drink? And I was like, stop being a weirdo. It was hilarious.
Poor Candace. I hope we didn't traumatize you, Candace.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was.
Candace
so
brought
fun.
these like ciders too that I've never had cider.
good.
But yeah, they were really good.
I just like tried it.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. It wasn't too sweet.
I forget the flavor though. Oh well.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
It was so much fun. We had all the snacks. I think I only ate breakfast that day, so like my dinner was like all the snacks we had. It was awesome.
I spent the next 2 days recovering. It was
That's
rough.
what happens after you're 30.
Dude.
For all you youngins out there, beware.
Why did I have to like start drinking in my 30s?
You didn't get to. I mean, I've always had like really bad hangovers. But
That's why I didn't drink, because that for the 21st birthday that we were talking about, it was horrific. And I'm like, I can wake up with a headache all by myself. I don't need alcohol to do this.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, I can do it all by my own. It happens 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And like, I don't need your help, alcohol, but it's fun. We've been the next day or 2 days later. What is it yesterday? What day is it? It's Wednesday.
It's your birthday, Kels.
I know. It's been like the days are meshing together because I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
But like it was Monday. Monday I was cooking dinner and Bernie was like, "Oh, do you want like a drink? I don't know." And he's like, "I'm making something." I was like, "Yeah, I'll have a little making dinner drink." And he's like, "Ooh, look at you."
Adulting.
I know. I was like, "Yeah, let me have a little drink, a little nip for dinner." It was so funny. He was like, "Get out of here."
Oh my god.
It was great.
That's awesome.
I don't know. That can segue into I guess what we were gonna talk about this episode.
You can tell.
Oh, okay. I can.
Yeah, you're better at explaining.
Oh, okay. So we were just gonna go through the last year and kind of recap the year.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit of future manifestations for the next year, and I don't know.
Maybe we could like hear it back next
Goals.
year and see
Definitely
how
they
came into fruition.
because like this will be around next year at this time for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm down.
This is our last episode of the year,
Last episode of the year. We're gonna take a week off.
Yes.
Jenny's going on vacation, and it's like not just because of that, but like take a little break.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back
in the new year.
in the new year. I think the next episode
will be
the January 11th.
January 11th.
Yeah,
So
so
1-1-1.
111.
We're starting the year off right.
So yeah. So well, I don't know. Do you want to go first? How was your year, Jenny?
My year. Okay, so I came out last year, 2020, in August. And then I started my spiritual awakening. The beginning of this year was great. My year started off with pretty much meeting Val. I met her towards the end of January of this year, and we became official a couple of weeks after. And it was crazy. Like, it was so fast, but it was kind of instantaneous.
You know what's funny? You guys were talking about it being your first Christmas, and it didn't even dawn on me that it would be your first Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, you've been together for years.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even... I was like, what do you mean your first Christmas?
Yeah, we literally started the year off with each other, so...
That's awesome.
It's been an amazing journey. Like, you know, our relationship developed in a very good path in the beginning, and it's just evolved into something stronger. My spiritual awakening, I kind of, right when I met her, I kind of like, I don't want to say I put it in a back burner because that sounds bad, but I wasn't as like intense as I was like as when I was by myself. Recently, where I feel like I'm starting like another mini awakening the past couple months, I want to say, and I think it has a lot to do with being surrounded with people that are so into it, and it's like, it's honestly like all I think about too.
Same. Check that.
Yeah. But it's been a great year. It's also been a very difficult year. In shadow work, I've done a lot of therapies with my energy healer, and she mainly focuses on shadow work. And shadow work, if anybody knows, like, shadow work is basically therapy. And for me, that's been really hard, and there's been a lot of healing traumas, like with my dad. My shadow work has a lot to do with him, and there's been a lot of challenges too, like in our relationship. But it's also been the best relationship we've ever had, too. It's been like a lot of mixed of emotions. You know, he had open heart surgery midway through the year, and he just had surgery a couple days ago. And so it's been really hard to, like, it's hard seeing a parent ill, but it's also really cool because I told him about Val finally, and he didn't take it like how I wish he would take it, but he definitely took it better than I thought he would. So it's been a lot of just like a mixed bag of emotions. I posted something on my Instagram yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, if this isn't me this year, I don't know what is. It basically says, this year I'm at the most broken version of me, but also the strongest. And that literally sums up my year.
Yeah.
I've literally had to look my soul in the mirror and really just see the shadow and the dark sides of it, and really trying to heal all those parts of me, and also embracing those parts of me. I think when people get into spirituality, there's a misconception that everything is light and positive, and that's not healthy either. I think life is part of light and dark, and it's incredibly important to embrace both and to really see that there's a yin and yang to both that, like the energy, and also like the feminine and masculine. This year has also really evolved for me as far as my identity, and my identity has been a roaming topic in my brain.
Same.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, I was talking to Val the other day, and I was like having a bad day. It was the day my dad had surgery, and I was just like talking about, like, I obviously like have mentioned that I'm non-binary, and what's been really hard for me to do is to blatantly come out to my family, to some friends in person, because I'm really scared of being invalidated. And I've talked about this before, but I don't think people understand like how shitty it feels to be invalidated.
Yeah.
And to, like, I remember coming out and someone in my family saying like, oh, it's a trend now, huh, to be gay. And then also somebody else in my family said, how do you know your life partner's a woman if you've never been with one? And I'm like, I just know. And then they're like, well, you can't say that. I'm like,
Says who?
Like, that is extremely painful.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me. And I've always been the in quotes emotional one and sensitive one, and I'm really sick and tired of being invalidated.
Yeah.
And so that's been my fear. But I've also, through my energy healing, I've realized that I really have to work on my throat chakra, which means speaking my truth. So I'm really trying to get to the point where I'm like, fuck y'all. This is who the fuck I am. Take it or leave it. And then if you don't want to take it, then fucking bounce. And if you have questions, be nice about it. If not, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been like an evolution of a lot of black and white, I feel like, or a lot of light and darkness. But it's also been probably one of the best years of my life with like the podcast and with, here we go.
I know. I'm like, I cannot look at you anymore.
No, I mean, I was.
But I feel it. It's like at
You're
100%.
like, shut up. Don't
Yeah.
talk.
Like, that's enough of Jenny for this. I'm just kidding.
And that's where the segment ends. No, but
yeah.
no, I'm just really grateful for your friendship, and
Same.
it's crazy. Like, I'm like, I know we've known each other forever, but
yeah.
like we haven't, like, you haven't been my friend for very long, but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It feels like you've been, like, I've known you for so long, and
Yeah.
I trust you with my life.
Same.
I would burn a house down for you.
Same. It's funny that you say that because I know how you feel about, not personally, but I know we've had talks about how you feel about your identity. And as a Capricorn, I was talking to Bernie about this last night, that it's very hard for me to pull back the feeling of wanting to fix everything for everybody and just step in for them because I'm like, do this, or like, I'm like, or I'm gonna, I'm gonna be mad at you or something, like I'm very much a fixer for people. That's what I do. That's what I do in my job. Like I fix the problems, and it's very hard for me to hold my tongue with you and with, not with you, but like for you and for my partner, because I just want it to be okay for you. And like, but I know that you have to do it on your own. Like I can't, it doesn't help either one of us for me to do it for people. So there's times where I'm like, I could do this. Like I could do this I know it's like putting it on myself, but it's like, I could, because I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And I sometimes it would just click with some people, but it has to come from you, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I had somebody reach out to me. It was my brother's friend. She reached out to me yesterday, and she responded to a TikTok I made about me being non-binary. And she asked me, she's like, "Oh, so like you're non-binary? So your pronouns are they them? Do you prefer they them?" And I'm like, "Well, technically, I still go by she they, but I really do prefer they them." And she's like, "Great, thank you so much for like standing up your ground and like." Being yourself. And I don't know, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you for approaching it in that way. But
yeah,
like, it's okay to not understand. I don't expect people to fully understand. I would just like the respect.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I know.
You would like the respect.
Yeah, I would just like the respect. And if you have questions,
See, I just did
figure it out.
My bad. I'm like, because I do that to myself. I said it a lot in the last episode. I will say something and then I'll say, I don't know. And I'm like, what am I talking about? I do know. I just said what I meant. I do know.
Yeah.
It's a way of invalidating ourselves to like not come off as harsh or anything like that. But
Yeah,
like,
or
no.
complicated.
Yeah, like we know what we mean. And I feel like people who are meant to be in your lives will respect that and continue that and just be respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll like dive in more into that topic, but going back to when I was like talking to Val about my identity, like I very much accept that I'm AFAB, and I embrace my femininity, especially my divine femininity. I'm grateful for my body. I'm very grateful for my body. I don't think I would ever do top surgery, but I definitely have been thinking, especially recently, have really, really, really been thinking about getting a breast reduction, just because I do get a little dysphoria, like with my body, because I have a bigger chest. I'm a G cup, so, and I'm pretty lanky, and so it just like.
I love that word, but sorry, Brittany and I say that word. I just like it.
I'm just like, I don't know.
You're
like,
tall. You're just tall.
Yeah, I'm just tall and lanky. So it's just like, it's, I don't know. My boobs, I don't feel like my boobs go with me. And I'm very grateful for them. I remember being younger and I would like stuff my bra. And now I'm like, good Lord, like, because I was a B cup.
Yeah.
And
universe said, here you go.
Yeah, the universe was like, oh, okay, you want some? Here you go. But like, it's also like health wise because, you know, I'm a makeup artist and whatnot. So it like really takes a toll on my back. But more than anything, I think it's my dysphoria. I've been feeling it a lot more lately.
It's funny because we feel so the same about some things, but I want people to understand that it's our own decisions that like make us like, so you are they, them, and you are non-binary, and that's how you feel. I have those same feelings about my chest. I've always said, like, I don't ever want a big chest. Like, when I'm a quote-unquote bigger person, or I guess when I am a bigger person, I have a bigger chest, and it makes me super uncomfortable. But I think it's for a different reason.
Yeah.
I've always liked the fact that when I was younger, I could get away with not wearing a bra or wearing a bralette because I didn't have a chest. But gaining weight, obviously, they're fat. Like, that's where it goes.
Yeah.
So, like, but for me, it's I'm working on something that we'll talk about later too. It's working on embracing it, and because I feel like it's because I have a chest, more people will know that I'm female, and now they know that I'm. It's kind of the same thing with being bi. Like now they know, and now they're gonna think less of me. But that's my own internal misogyny with that. Like I've said before, I grew up in a hugely masculine household. It was not cool to be a girl. Like I've been left out and been ostracized from so much because I was not a male to them. You know, I was not included, and it's me. Part of my goal for this, you know, I'll get into it real quick, but part of it would be to stop that narrative in my head and embrace, you know, the curves, embrace the femininity that I have. I've always shoved it off that I'm not feminine. What? I'd rather be dope and cool. Like, but like it's something that I need to work on, and that's a goal. Also, we'll get into it, I guess. But I get it. It's just, but I feel like my chest is also dysphoria for me, but in a different way. Yeah. Like it's a different side of the spectrum, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like different for everybody, and I think it just goes to show that it's ever changing, and like everything is so ever evolving, especially when you're self-healing and you're self-accepting. Because for me, I think that was like the goal this year, was to accept myself, and even part of last year. And that's how I found my identity, and I'm still finding my identity. Like I feel non-binary, and I feel that way internally, like so deeply. I'm 30 years old. I'm about to be 31, and like look where I'm at. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my year.
Yeah. Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
So my year, it was funny because I kind of mentioned this to you earlier, that I was looking through my photos, and it's so from January to June-ish, with the exception of one photo in my camera reel. It's all like plants and my dog, and it's like just me and Bernie and our house, and it's like I don't want to say lonely because I never feel like I'm never lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. I don't mind being alone. I prefer being alone usually. And so it's all that. It's plants. It was like early spring. We were getting our garden going. We made a lot of additions this year. Like, so it was very that until April. So, April, there's one post, and it's actually like a money mantra that I found on TikTok.
Wow.
I know. And I saved it. So I was like, huh. And that kind of like started. And around that time, I can't remember exactly when I got my glasses, but around that time, that was the story. I don't know if I've told it on the podcast, but there was like, there was an optometrist who was like, I think was hitting on me, but I wasn't quite, I was like newly out and wasn't like, I don't know. I was like, had no idea how to handle it.
I think it's on one of the early podcasts.
Okay. Episodes. So there was that, and she was spiritual, and she was a witch, and she had talked about, it's kind of funny because she talked about how she mentors and like kind of brings people to that side, kind of, which I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, I believe you, but I don't know what this means yet. And it was just a weird out of the random experience. It was weird. Like,
it's not weird.
It's not weird, but it was like it was weird then.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh duh. And then June came, and so in my camera reel, June 1st came, and I have my coming out post saved. And then it's like skating, and then it's like podcast, and then it's like friends, and it's photo shoot, and it's like so many more people are in my camera roll than at the beginning of the year. Like, I joke about my life being 90% different. It's not a joke though. It really is. Like, at the beginning of the year, I didn't have really anyone. I mean, I feel awful if you felt like we were close, if anybody felt like we were close, and I'm not expressing that. I just didn't feel it. So it was, I don't know, I was alone kind of. And actually during that time, also in the beginning of the year, I was struggling a lot with quarantine because I was alone, but it was like too much alone. Like, I didn't even get we didn't get those normal outings that we got in the past to like where I'd be like, okay, I need to recoup for 5 days.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even have those. And Bernie was working a lot. So like, I also couldn't bombard him when he came home because he was working a lot. So I'd be like, once he got home, I'd be like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I've been alone all day.
Human interaction.
Yeah,
It's not just chefs.
Exactly. Like, I've like talked to her all day, but she doesn't, I mean, she talks back through her eyes. But
Yeah.
she doesn't really talk. So it was like, so it was like not a lot of people. So I was struggling really hard with it. And then like also when like my parents decided that, like, told me they were going to be moving, and that was like sent me over the edge. And I was like, okay, no, sorry mom, it did though. But I'm it's cool now. Like, I think it was a great decision for them. It was a great decision for us. Like, I wouldn't change it at this point. But it threw me into therapy basically. So it's funny that like I want to talk about therapy because he helped me a lot. I didn't go for very long, but he helped me a lot with the anxious thoughts, and I call them like ping pong thoughts, where it's like, this, what about this? What about this? Now I know it's mostly my Gemini who that's why I do that, because we like to see all sides of everything. And like, I know it sounds frustrating sometimes when I'm talking about something and it really sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, because I really am. I can really see both sides or multiple sides of things. And one of my favorite phrases that I've learned this year is that two things can be true at once. It doesn't mean like, because you believe one thing doesn't mean you automatically don't believe another thing. Two things can be true at once. So that's something that he really helped with, is that I can kind of, and it's a funny story. So there's a funny story where like he kind of really put it into perspective, that, and it's something I kind of want to work on for the year also, is that, so I went hiking with my partner and some of his coworkers. We went up to the, I don't know if anybody knows in SoCal, the Claremont Loop, and we went up there, and it was like, I had been working out. So the year before that, I lost like 60 pounds during the whole, like it took a year to do. I lost a lot of weight, and I thought I was like super fit. I was like at my quote unquote fittest of my life, I would think, without harming myself. So I went, and like all these like young kids are like, do up the hill, no big deal. I'm like, like,
that's me.
I'm dying. And I went to him the next week, and I told him, I was like, I'm mad. I'm upset about it. And he's like, what are you upset about? He's like, are you upset because you didn't do as good as you think you should have done? And I'm like, yeah, I should have like kicked their butts. I'm so fit, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, what was your goal why did you go? What was your goal in the first place? And I was like, well, we just wanted to get outside. And he's like, well, did you get outside? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, then you achieved your goal. What are you so upset about? Kind of thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh. So I think that's kind of what the framing of what I want to do for the year too. I don't know. I guess I can get into that. The like in my reel, I can go back to my reel, my photos. So once like coming out happened, and then like skating happened, and then like I reached out to you, and podcast happened, and then friends happened, and like everyone for this last party showed up.
Emotion.
Everyone showed up in such a way that hasn't happened before.
Yeah. Oh, friend, you make me cry. It's a fucking Venus in retrograde.
Everyone showed up in such a way that I haven't had before, that it was really nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was a very special night for sure.
Yeah.
And I felt it. Like, everybody was there because you could just feel the love. Like, like I hadn't met your friends before, but I feel like I had.
Yeah.
Like, it felt so comfortable, and it was just good vibes all around.
Yeah,
and
they're very good people.
Yeah,
they're very good people, and they're very sweet. And
yeah,
I'm not used to people showing up for me, so for them to show up like that, it just was like blew my mind. Like, and it's so funny because even like I told them that and thanked them for that, and like they all said nice things in the message the next day, and I screenshotted it because when I tell myself that, oh, shit,
oh, friend, a hug. I'm hugging you right now. I just can't move from my mic.
I know, shit. Okay.
All the emotions.
I know.
I hope we're making y'all cry.
Yeah. Oh man. So I can't even talk. Like the insecurity inside. Like I convinced myself that like people don't like me. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
And like I screenshotted that so that way I have that to know.
To remind yourself.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that with Bernie all the time too, which is like something I need to work on.
That's very cappy of
It's
you.
very cappy.
Do you highlight it too?
So rude. It is in my favorites folder, so you're so rude. But yes, so oh god, the emotions.
Emotions 2021.
Yeah, I think that's it too, is like not being so afraid of them. I don't know.
You're letting yourself feel.
Yeah, that's a goal for this year, is that like, so my partner wasn't kidding when he said he watches Zodiac like YouTube all the time.
I want to see your recently.
Yeah, dude, it's out of control. So he was watching a Scorpio one last night. I think I mentioned that. And then he was like, oh, let's turn on a Gemini moon one. And it was funny because they were saying that like I really don't care if you don't believe any of the stuff. It's real, and that's what it feels like inside, is that like with the Gemini moon stuff, like because the moon rules your emotions, she mentioned that I search for an emotion and like kind of figure out what I'm supposed to be feeling and then feel that instead of just feeling it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really starting to just let myself feel things instead of what I should be feeling.
Yeah.
And what's going to be acceptable to my surroundings. I'm just going to feel like what I feel. And it's testament to the crying. I'm not even like on my cycle or anything, so I'm not even extra emotional because of that. I'm just emotional.
Same.
So, and like, I don't know. I was about to make myself cry again. Just even the vast difference in birthdays from like this year to last year or the year before or any other year of my life is like insane. And I'm really thankful for everybody that has been around.
Oh, well, I'm thankful for you, friend. I'm so grateful. I don't know. It's just life's changed so much, and everything's no, it's okay. Everything since we reconnected has been aligned, and we've been saying that from the
jump.
from the first Zoom call.
Yeah, I'm like
everything.
I don't think we'll ever stop talking about it.
We'll never. I don't get tired of talking about it.
Same.
Because it's not none of this is a coincidence that everything has fallen into place.
Yeah.
And we're so many episodes in.
Another testament to that is that like so my partner gifted you that Crumb album.
I was bawling.
Yeah. So he cried. He almost got it. That Scorpio almost let that tear out. It was real damn close.
Oh my god, it was.
Yeah.
I almost heard it on the floor.
So he got you the Crumb album, and it's funny because it was a weird kind of story, but he got 2 by accident. And that was in the middle of the year, I don't know, months before we even talked or anything. And he was like, oh, I have 2. And it's just kind of funny that like he had 2 because it was waiting for you. Yeah. Like was like, that was his, he's like, I'm going to give Jenny that Crumb. Like, I want to frame it. I want to do it. He made me wrap it because he said my wrapping's better. But he was like, it was from him. Like, it was supposed to be here. Because it's like, oh, Jenny's going to be here pretty soon. So we'll just hang on to this for them when they come.
I'm so nice. I'm so nice. It was so nice.
You are so nice too, because your gift was awesome also.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about gifts.
Yeah.
I already hung it up.
Oh.
We didn't have anything hung up on our
That's
in our
why.
bedroom.
Did you even notice? Like, like a month ago, I was like, "Oh, do you guys hang anything in your room? Like, is it okay if you guys do?"
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out it was
Yeah.
fine. We just hadn't, but we were waiting for Val's thing because you. Okay, we'll talk about gifts.
Okay.
You gifted me this, me and Val, this like gorgeous artwork from what's the artist?
It's from an Etsy artist, but we're not. I don't know. I'll link it if maybe. But like her shipping, I had a not a conundrum. I don't know. I had a fiasco with trying to get Val's print from her. So I don't know if I want to put anybody else through that. But they're awesome.
She pulled out your white Karen.
I didn't even. I was just like. I'm like, I literally have a message where I'm like, I'm just begging you. Can you just let me know what's happening? Like, and if not, just like refund me and it's cool.
Yeah.
I'll reorder and like, whatever. We'll get it figured out later. Like, I wasn't even mean messages. Like,
No,
I feel like,
kidding.
yeah, I know. I just feel like, you know, you don't get anything by being mean like that. So I was like, oh, I understand it's the holidays. But like, I literally ordered it like the middle of November.
I remember you had mentioned.
And like,
the
I just
gift.
got it yesterday.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
It was okay. Well, regardless, it's beautiful and I love it. And it goes with we didn't get to choose our wall colors from our bedroom. It's like this orange.
I love it.
Color. And it goes perfectly in there. So
Perfect.
yeah, we already know where we're going to hang it up.
Cool.
And it was gorgeous.
Awesome.
And I loved it so much. It's a little Aries and Pisces artwork. So beautiful.
It was cute. Yeah. Bernie and I have similar, it's our signs, but like I have the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, you guys will love these.
Yes.
I know it.
I remember you showing me those, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so gorgeous."
I remember you saying that.
That's all you.
Yeah, I remember. That's what we did Secret Santa with my friends, and my friend Gloria was like, "How did you know?" Like, I got her like a little kunzite heart, and I wrapped it and made it into a necklace. And she was like, how'd you know? I'm like, I literally saw you pick it up like 15 times when we went to the witch walk. You literally looked at me and said, I don't have this one. I like it. I'm like, I listened. Like, and I got her like, made her like little mushroom earrings too. And like wrapped them and made them like into earrings. They're like little mushroom crystals. And she's like, how'd you know? I'm like, you said it.
I love Gloria, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gloria.
Yeah.
Glow, you're awesome. I feel like you're me. You're like a mirror of me.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm shy.
No.
I say I'm shy. I know I'm not shy.
Yeah, neither of you are shy. I don't know what she's talking about. And she's also a Leo moon, so I'm like, yeah, you're not shy, bro.
And I'm an Aries moon, so it's like fire.
Yeah. So much fire. You both are not shy. It's hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good. They're all amazing. And
Oh my
like I
gosh.
said,
Yes.
I can't thank you all enough. It's been cool. And I will stop convincing myself that everyone hates me.
Yeah. Nobody hates you.
I know.
We love you very much.
I know. But yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of the beginning to the end of the year, I guess. Yeah. It's been, I don't know. It's been great and it's been nice and I wouldn't change any of it for the world. Like even my parents moving was really, really hard. Sorry, Mom. It was really hard, but like it worked out really good. Like they're like happy and they're thriving out there and they love it. And yeah.
You're happy for them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And then when you see them, it's like so exciting.
Yeah. It'll be cool. And like can see it's weird to like they have their because like I've lived in that house my entire life, so like to see their house now, like their new house that I've not been there, it's weird.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, there's
it's like where's Mom, where's Dad?
Yeah. So it'll be really cool, but that's kind of the year for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
So manifestations.
Sure.
Okay. So for this year, my manifestations are a lot of them have to do with my spirituality. It's a big part of me.
Same.
Sorry, y'all. I'm like, this has become a very queer, witchy podcast.
Yeah.
Spiritual podcast. But I definitely want to I was talking about today and I was like, I really want to take like a Reiki class.
Oh.
And I was listening to Spiritual Shit, the podcast, and there was a Reiki master on there, and she was talking about how like we all have the ability to heal with energy and to like read each other's like where our chakras are and whatnot. And she was suggesting, she's like, everybody can do this. And she's like, I honestly feel like everybody should take at least the first part of Reiki. Because the other day that I had a really bad day, not grounded, and I was very upset, very sad. I was crying. I was angry. I just like felt a lot of like low vibrational emotions. Like I need to get myself out of this. And I just did crystal healing. I cleansed myself with my selenite tower. I cleansed myself with Palo Santo, and I was just like taking deep breaths. I got my sound bowl and I started doing my sound bowl, and I felt so much better. And I'm like, if I could do this for myself, I feel like I can help people too. And I think that's my biggest goal and manifestation this year, is to develop more of my, I don't like to say a purpose, because I feel like I think the purpose for all humanity is to just live and experience the human experience. But I really do want to find something like another part of me, I guess. And that's a huge part. Another part is definitely my identity and like owning my identity. And hopefully by next year, when we recap this episode, I have gotten to the point where I will be more comfortable with standing my ground with my pronouns and going from she, they to just they, them. That's a huge thing I really want to work on. And just speaking my truth, I really want to work on my throat chakra. And I really want to just be a better person for myself, and just be more secure with who I am overall. And as far as my career, I really have been working towards these past 10 years being signed to an agency. So I would love to get signed to an agency, be represented by them, and get jobs that way.
That'd be awesome.
I had that on like a manifestation list 2 years ago, and I've partially accomplished that part of my manifestation. I have assisted a lot of people in agencies. So, and I've done a lot of cool jobs. Like I worked for BuzzFeed, I worked for Target, I worked for Paul Mitchell. I've worked with a lot of great companies. Just this year alone, I did my first big feature at the end of 2020. So there's been a lot of big monumental things that have happened in my career. But I definitely just want to grow and make a name for myself as a makeup artist. And also another manifestation is I don't want to have to work as hard as I have been. I feel like the past 10 years I've busted my ass, have literally busted my ass so intensely. And I have come to realize that I shouldn't have to. And if I work one or 2 days a week and have 2 great paying jobs, that is a manifestation for me. Is I want to have a quality of life. Those would be a collection of manifestations.
I love that. I also think so. The reason we're saying manifestation is because Abi. Also, we both don't like resolutions, because I feel like people wait till the new year to do that when you can just do it tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I think even though we're saying manifestations for next year, we're already working on that. Like, it's not like you're waiting till January 1st to do it.
No, time is not relevant, and time is fake.
Yes.
And if y'all know what I'm trying to say, y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
But for those who don't know, time is not real. It's an illusion. So
yes.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to wait. And yeah, don't set yourself up for failures. I think that's like what happens with resolutions, and why I'm not so fond of that word and like the meaning behind it and its context is like, it's like, oh, if I don't do this, then I'm a failure. And it's like, no, like
mine is because most people's resolution is to lose weight.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that. Like, do whatever you want with your body, obviously, but so that's always been like, so for my manifestation this year is not to, mine's always been lose weight, always lose weight. Like always. And the manifestation this year is it's not about losing weight. I want to make myself more healthy.
You want to feel good.
And that doesn't mean lose weight. I want to put good things into my body and move my body so I have my body for as long as I need my body. That's what I want to do.
And it comes down to self-love.
Yes. It's a different... I've realized that a lot of the reason I put lose weight is because I was torturing myself because I didn't like myself. And it's funny that, like I said, again, 90% of my life is different. Even though I worked out my entire life, it's never, I don't know, amounted to the perfect quote unquote body that I wanted. And I'm just really sick of that narrative in my head. I'm sick of that. I just don't want that anymore. It's all my X-Men fans out there. So there's a story, I forget what movie it is. I'm going to get like, Bernie's going to be like, what do you mean you know exactly what movie it is? But there's an X-Men movie. There's an X-Men character. It's played by Jennifer Lawrence, and she's Mystique. And she can like basically morph into any person she wants to look like, kind of. And she's originally like she's fully blue and has like scales and stuff and like crazy red hair. And she spends a lot of her brain power making herself look like a person that would be likable instead of just being herself. And there's a quote in there where I think it's Dr. X tells her that, like, imagine what you could do if like 10% of your brain wasn't focused on your appearance. And that resonates so much because, like, what could I do if I freed up the space in my brain that takes up with meal planning and, like, what am I going to work out today? And, like, you know, am I going to binge tonight? Or, like, what could I do with my brain if it's not, like, if I don't have those thoughts in there? And that's what I want to work on, is that it's an automatic response to treat myself nicely and an automatic response to feed myself healthy things and move my body in the way that it needs to be moved to, you know, work. And not so much about, like, the appearance of it. Like, that's what I want to work on. That's the manifestation for me, is to just have that be second nature so I don't have to think about it as much. And, like, also the podcast. Manifesting big things for the podcast. So growth.
I can't believe I forgot that. That's like one of the biggest things.
I got you.
That's one of the biggest things, for sure.
That, and also I mentioned it earlier. I can't even tell if it was earlier in the podcast or when we were just talking. But, like, I want to say yes to more things. Like, I was watching a Zodiac video, and it was, like, talking about Capricorns are very, like, Bernie was kind of laughing because, like, I can't say yes to something until, like, I can't say yes to what we're going to do for lunch until I know what's happening for dinner. Because I don't, well, that's a Gemini thing, but, like, because I need to know, because I need to plan accordingly. And, like, so I want to do, like, Geminis are always, like, 10 steps ahead like that. So I want to try to be more present in the moment, like, present in the moment, and, like, say, not have my initial reaction be no to everything. Because when I've said yes, amazing things have happened. When I've come out, when I said yes to reaching out, like, when I said yes to, I could have bailed that first day when I went skating with my friends. I could have bailed. I was easily about to, and I didn't. I said, no, let's go. You're going to have fun. It's going to be great. And, like, we continued after then. Like, so things happen when I say yes. And, like, that's just what I want to do. And that, and, like, obviously get in more tune with, like, spirituality. And I want to, I don't know, I pulled cards for today. So I want to get more in tune with that. Like, because I know it's in there. I've always been super intuitive as a kid. And I've always, like, and, you know, as a young adult. And I'm like... like, okay, little secret, guys. I literally don't like to vacuum because I feel like I can hear the white noise and hear what needs to communicate to me, communicating to me, and it scares me. So I don't, I try not to vacuum as much as possible, or I wear headphones so I can't hear it. So I want to be not as afraid of that stuff. And I want to, it's just say yes and be at more peace with that.
Accepting your gifts. Because that is a gift. Like, that's exciting. I'm excited for it. You're clairaudient. I think that's the word for. I think so. For the ear. You're clairaudient.
That's exciting. And it's passed down, I think, too, because my mom has that too. My mom has premonitions like that also, and can see things, and, like, like I this is not a laughing thing, but like I don't know if I mentioned it, but I have an older brother who passed away, and there's times where she would like daydream sleep, and he would like in her daydream sleep he would play jokes on my dad because he used to be a very big joker. And he would play tricks on my dad, and my dad would come home, and my mom would be like, "What happened to you today?" And he'd be like, "Well, this happened, and blah, blah, blah." And she'd just kind of laugh because he used to do this thing with his arm where he'd like tap you, be like, "Check it out, look what I'm gonna do, look what I'm gonna do," kind of thing. And like he would do that, and she could see him, and then like it happens to my dad in life. Like,
hilarious.
it's so funny. So like I know it's there. Like if she can have that, and I know it's there. So
Yeah.
I think that sums it up, I guess. And I guess more the same thing where it's like more not, I hate to say money freedom because I feel like we live a really good life, and I'm thankful for everything we have. But I know that we both still stress a lot about stuff. So him and I, so to not have to stress would be great.
Yeah, definitely. We are both manifesting financial freedom because I feel like everybody in America, like most people in America, like even if, like, hey, gratitude is everything. I'm extremely grateful to have food in my belly and to have all my limbs and to have my health and all my organs functioning properly. Definitely. But yeah, like, you know, if you're not a billionaire, there isn't really financial freedom. I
kind of hate that phrase that like money doesn't buy you happiness. Like, yes, it does.
Yeah.
It buys you freedom, and it buys you financial security. And that for a lot of people is happiness.
Yeah.
Like it does. It's I don't know.
I think it falls down to like really, like, it's something I've been struggling with because I grew up pretty not like my parents weren't wealthy at all. So I think it's hard. It's always been really hard for me to feel like I'm worthy of having money. And I've really, especially with my business, I've really kind of learned to stand my ground with like my rates. And like, I just raised my rates because it's just nearly impossible to sustain myself, you know, otherwise, because it's my only source of income. So I think that's like another thing is like standing my ground and like knowing my worth. And I think that's important to feel that like in every aspect of life. And going back to, I did want to touch, I just didn't want to interrupt you. Like when I started my awakening, something that I was working on was self-love. I remember I had my rose quartz and stuff like that. And like going back to like you feeding your body, I think something that I've realized through being spiritual, I don't see my body as like, I look at it and I'm like, I'm leasing this, you know? So it's like, and I chose to look the way I do. So then I'm like, I try to like channel that, and I'm like, okay, I chose, you know, even the things that I'm not so happy about, I chose those things. And when I started my awakening, I like was really trying to like raise my vibration. So I was like buying organic food. I was trying to eat vegan, because I really just wanted to open my third eye and whatnot. And so the way I looked at it, whenever I would consume something, even if it was like a cookie, like I would be like, this is self-love. So if I had something really healthy, I'd be like, this is self-love. And then if I had something not that healthy, I would be like, this is also self-love because I'm treating myself to this. And I think it's like, that's a healthier way to look at it. It's like, oh, I want to raise my vibration. So I'm going to eat this today because I want to like have, I want my chakras to not be closed up. So that's why I'm going to eat this. And then I just like try to make it good. And you cook really good.
Thank you.
Like you and Bernie know how to cook.
Oh my gosh, if you think I cook good, you need to have a Bernie meal, because when Bernie cooks like once, like he works a lot, and like he helps out with as much as he can, and I'm like, I'm home all day, so like I'm cool with it, like it's cool. But like one night it started to be where I started to pick up working, so I was like, you have dinner once a week because it's a lot for me now, like your turn. And he's like, cool. He's one of those people that can take anything that we have in the fridge and make it bomb. Like he just can put things together, and it's amazing every time. And he made food last night. I was like, oh my god, like who, like I know you cook great, but like you have no idea. Like I'm good because I follow recipes and people have already like figured out how to make them good. He's good because it's like all like love.
It's
like,
all intuitive.
It's all intuitive. And it's so like, oh, we'll have to do that. I'll have to like have him do that.
Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you. But yeah, I just, with food, it's hard because content warning for everybody. Like I'm a binger, like I used to be. I've really, since I went to therapy and like kind of got some and worked on some inner demons with that. Basically, I used to do this thing, which I'm sure people know, like I've had a bad day, I need a burger. I've had a bad day, I need a candy bar. I've had a bad day, I need a whole bag of chips.
Yeah. And
that's an emotional response. I've always said when I was younger, food was my best friend. Like in like I've even gotten to the point in not recently, but earlier in the year where like if my partner would say like, oh, we're going to start eating healthy, that to me was like, you're going to take away my best friend. And now I'm mad and I can't do that. And I'll do it on my own time kind of thing. And I also come from a fitness world. Like I trained a lot. Like I've been like a gym bro, like kind of my whole life. Like I do enjoy lifting weights. Like I enjoy lifting heavy things. That's like a goal for me is like, I like to be strong. I like to lift heavy things. That's a different part from aspect from this. But like it was my friend always. So I've gotten to the point where I can finally have a meal and eat when I'm full instead of forcing myself to clean my plate, because that's what we were told to do as children. You couldn't leave until you cleaned your plate.
I grew up with that too.
Yeah. And my father's love language is food. So if we refuse food, you refuse his love. So we just ate all the time.
Yeah.
And so I finally got to the point where I can say like, I'm full, like I can throw this away, and I hate to throw away food, but I also don't want to treat myself like the garbage can anymore also. So that's what I kind of think. Like that's a new saying we have, like, because both my partner, Bernie's the same way, is that he will just finish it because we're not supposed to leave, we're not supposed to leave food on the plate when I know that's a privilege, but also I have to remind both of us, like, you don't have to finish that. Like, you are not we can also save it for later and eat it at a later time or something.
Yeah.
So I finally got to the point where I can just stop eating when I'm full. So the binging has massively decreased, and I haven't, because I'm so much stronger mentally, it's not like, oh my God, I had a bad day, I need a burger. I don't really feel that way anymore. So the next step to me is to actually feed myself healthy stuff. And
you make it bomb. You make it bomb.
Thanks. I appreciate it. That's from years of also meal prepping.
Yeah.
Of like not wanting to. And also because I'm not meal prepping, we're like, let's eat. Let's like have some food.
Yeah.
Like have some good stuff that like we didn't allow ourselves to have. And like all that was torture. It was just torturing myself because I didn't think I deserved to be, to eat what I wanted to make myself happy. And that's insane. That's not a thing. I was kind of laughing earlier when you were talking about like you're leasing your body. So my this is like a left field, but my younger, I feel like everything, it is what it is. It's not left field. It's where it's going.
It's where it's going. Taking you for a ride.
So my younger brother and I usually, most nights we send each other memes, like, or every other night or every couple nights, like that's how we communicate.
Bond.
Yeah, that's how we bond. It's like, here's this, it's funny, or little TikToks or videos. So we kind of save them up for a few days. So there's one that I used to send him a lot, which I thought was funny. It's like something about like when you want to take care of your body, pretend there's a demon inside of it, and that you will need the demon to thrive or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like,
whoa.
Oh my God, what was that?
Motorcycle.
Yeah, it was like, don't talk about demons. It was like, pretend your body's inhabited by a demon and like you need to keep it alive or something like that. And that's how you like feed yourself. I don't know. I just thought it was funny because yours was like, nice. And mine's like, demon.
Demon.
I know.
I mean, whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works
for you.
Yeah.
Whatever you're feeling that day. If you
Same.
want to channel your demon, that's cool.
I mean, that's a whole nother thing, so I won't get into that, but definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, is that all we have?
I think so.
We just want to say,
Sorry. I never. Sorry. My bad.
it's all good. We just really want to say thank you.
Yes.
To all of you for listening this past year. I mean, this has been going on since September.
Yeah.
So we're just so excited to see where it goes. And
Definitely.
if you enjoy the podcast, please share it with your friends and spread the word. Spotify, I got an email the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That Spotify is now doing reviews, or they're about to. So look out for that. And if you listen on Spotify, which majority of our listeners are Spotify listeners, please go review. That would help us out so much because it's a new feature. So hopefully that will help, spread the word about the podcast to other people.
Yeah.
Because it would really, really help us out. Some podcasts have sponsors. We haven't gotten to that point yet. And we have the ability to put advertisements into our podcast right now, but we don't want to do it until we grow more people, because it's like usually like random people doing the sponsorships, and I want to do the sponsors ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you all, you guys aren't going to want to, because you're not going to want to hear all the commercials, but I mean, it would help us out so much because we don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
So it would really, 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 really mean the world to us.
Yeah.
So please do so. And if you listen on Apple, or regardless, if you have the time, go review on there.
I promise next year we will also touch on more gay shit.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna. I think this year we really focused on our personal experiences. We did have guests on, but we definitely want to have more guests. So if you would like to be a guest in the new year, please reach out to us if you want to talk about your story. If you're in the community, please reach out. Or if you know somebody that would really want to share their story, email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com.
And if you feel like you're out of state and it will be hard or anything, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. It's not difficult. We will figure it out.
Yeah, we have an ability on our interface where we record the podcast to take phone calls. We just haven't looked into it yet.
We will.
But we will. And we will definitely, like, if you're out of state or even out of country, we'll figure out a way to do it. So don't be scared to reach out to us.
Yeah. Don't be scared. Say yes.
Say yes. Be a yes person.
Yes person.
And go watch Yes Man.
Oh, man. Okay.
I think you'll love it.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
All right.
But, yeah.
Socials?
We can't, real quick also, sorry. Just a reminder, we won't be here next week.
Yeah.
But we will be back on the 11th, and we'll miss you all.
We'll miss you all.
Definitely.
We're taking a little week break, but we will be back January 11th.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
111.
111.
Yeah, but, so you can follow us at One Thing Queer on Instagram. And my personal one is SpexRayX.
I was gonna say the TikTok.
Oh, okay.
And our TikTok account is at One Thing Queer Podcasts. Go check us out on there. We're gonna have some new videos up. So if you want to stay tuned and follow us on Instagram, and my personal Instagram is at Jenny Lynn Bouton, and my witchy Instagram is at Celestial Light Witch. Well, happy birthday, friend.
Thanks. Stop it. Well, yeah, thanks.
All right.
We'll miss you all. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Be safe out there.
Yeah. Don't
drink and drive.
Yes.
Or I will find you.
Yes.
All right.
Well, bye.
Bye. Graphics by BexUniverse.co. Music by Jacody.